Hello, everybody, and welcome to this interview. Today, I have the lovely Eva Lu with me, and she does Chinese medicine. And I know that she does face yoga. She has a thing about the jawline, which all women like, of course. So, welcome, Eva. I'm so glad to see you here with me today. And I would like for you to tell us a bit about your topic, what you do, and how you define it.
Okay. Hey, everyone. So I'm Eva Lu, and I'm going to talk to you about stubborn weight gain in menopausal women. And this is something that I came across working with myself and also with women who are my clients and current clientele. And the way that I define stubborn weight gain is due to the imbalance of what we call in Chinese medicine the kidney yang and stomach yang deficiency. So, what this means is that the source energy, which is the kidney energy, um, is being depleted as we age. This is what gives us life, essentially. And the stomach yang qi is actually what gives us fire to our digestion. So, if you've ever heard of the second spring ever, this is the fifth phase in a woman's life. It usually begins around age 35, where the woman's hormones are transitioning and changing. And we say this is a period of time where we really need to support the digestive system and also the energy, the source energy of a woman. So this means, like myself, I'm putting myself on as an example for you. When I was in my 20s, I ate whatever I wanted to. I partied like no other. I loved to drink, and I started seeing, oh, things are changing around age 28. And then when I hit age 32, I was like, oh my gosh, it was like a night and day shift. So I was entering perimenopause, and this is when the shift between 28 and 35, this 7 year cycle, it's entering that fifth phase, the second spring, which I was telling you about. And the shift marks the beginning of perimenopause. And when you don't have your period anymore for a year, then you're in menopause. So perimenopause can last, at an average of 10, 15 years anyway. And so if you're just wondering what's going on during the shift up until you hit menopause, then it's like you just try every single thing under the sun to manage the symptoms. So for me at 32, this was a time where I wanted to start a family. I wanted to kind of settle down and, start my life in, just like family mode. But, having symptoms of, okay, lower libido. I had a little bit of stubborn weight gain and some other things that were due to a shift of the hormones. I was like, okay, what's actually going on? I was in a bit of denial because I had studied Chinese medicine for about 5 years by the time I was 35. And these were signs that I had seen in the women that I had been working with too. I was working in a laboratory at the time where I was doing my studies, and most of my coworkers were women 35 and up. So they were already going through symptoms of perimenopause and menopause. Some had the hot flashes. They were going into walk-in refrigerator, and they were like, okay, I'm just going to chill in here. Nobody bother me. And I just remember I was in my 20s when I saw this, and I was like, okay, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. And and I saw women who were a little bit overweight and had the stubborn weight gain. Like anything that they did, they, exercise didn't help, starving themselves didn't help, but they still had the weight. So studying Chinese medicine gave me that bridge of where I was like, oh, okay, I can put the pieces together, understanding what the symptoms are telling us about what we need to do in order to feel better. And so going back to when I was 32, I was like, okay, a little bit in denial because I was like, how can this be happening to me right now? Two, when I finally got over that denial of like, okay, this is happening and what can I do at this moment? This was during COVID as well, where I was like, okay, well, if I can't see a practitioner at this time, I'm just going to do the things that I already know for myself. So that meant acupressure points, that meant moxibustion because my body was cold. And so a lot of times when women have stubborn weight gain, it's because their digestive system is cold. Their kidney yang is cold. So we have to warm that up with moxibustion. And there are other ways to warm it up if you don't have a practitioner near you. And, a lot of things were managed by food therapy as well. And, just changing some things up that I was used to because I needed to, see what was actually going on so I could manage my symptoms. So it's, like these things that we see in the body, the symptoms can range from like if you have the kidney yang deficiency by itself, like that could be low back pain, that could mean like ear ringing, that could mean lower memory, so like loss of focus, loss of concentration. What else? Like there can be the weight gain, there can be water retention, there can be knee pain and bone pain. So those are some of the things of the kidney yang deficiency. Coupled with that, like if you're talking about stomach yang deficiency can mean also weight gain. It can also mean gas and bloating, difficulty concentrating, feeling like you're just like heavy all the time. And this is part of the digestion. So like if you don't have the stomach yang it's like cooking. You need to put the fire underneath the pot in order to metabolize, to cook down the stuff that you're trying to cook, like raw food. So the raw food needs to cook, you need that fire. And once that fire goes out, how are you gonna like reheat that up again? Like if you keep on adding ice to it, if you keep on saying, oh, I'm gonna lose weight by eating salads, eating raw food, eating cold temperature things, ice cream, dairy, things that make it really hard to digest, your body is just using more energy to try to digest those things. So you're just making it more hard to produce that fire that's needed to digest those things. And once the digestive system is depleted, then you start to gain weight. So what I do with women, like as they're going through these symptoms, it's like, okay, one of the things that we need to cut out is the ice. The other thing is to eat regularly, eat warm food, cooked food, things that you can digest easily. I know some women have a difficulty digesting cheese, dairy products, gluten. So, just ignore those things. And then add also the warming spices. So this doesn't mean peppers. This means like ginger. Ginger is a really great warming spice. Cinnamon's a really great warming spice for women who have the kidney and stomach yang deficiencies. warm and cozy. That's what you need. And a
Can,
lot of
can,
time,
can I ask something here? When you talk
yeah,
about this, it's about, a lot about digestion and the yang deficiency, right? And
yes.
is that what the most usual that happens in menopause? Because it can be both the yin and the yang. So is this deficiency like this is usually what happens in menopause because it's the nature of menopause, right? This slowing down of metabolism and all of these different things. Did I understand it right?
Yeah, it's one of the things that can happen. So everyone that goes through menopause can have different set of symptoms. So if you're somebody who already has a strong digestion already, you might not gain weight because your digestion is already strong. Like you have, you can eat anything, you digest cheese well, you digest gluten well, like anything that you eat doesn't bother you. Whereas somebody who has always had some issue digesting food, when they approach perimenopause, menopause, they might find that losing weight is harder because they've already had an issue with their digestive system.
Okay.
So, you look like you have a question.
No, no, I'm just trying to bring it together a bit. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I can hear that you're really passionate about it and you've looked into this. And of course, it makes a big, big difference when you've actually gone through something yourself. It creates a lot of knowledge. So why why is it so difficult when all of this happens? It's like when I talk to women, they're like, oh, I was so shocked, I didn't know what was going on and everything was so weird. So it's like, what why is it so difficult, and what's the most common mistake women do when they hit perimenopause, menopause, and these changes start happening?
I think what makes it so difficult is that women who go through menopause, they get so many different symptoms. Some women don't get symptoms at all. That's true. But some women who get symptoms like stubborn weight gain, that can be coupled with hot flashes, that can be coupled with night sweats, that can be coupled with some other things. There are lots of different symptoms, but I'm just talking about these things in terms of stubborn weight gain because that's just one piece to go from. Um, it's difficult because there's so much media out there that just tells us all the time, okay, these are the superfoods that you need to eat. Or else, like I mentioned ginger and cinnamon already. For a woman who's having hot flashes and night sweats, I would not recommend those for women. So what I'm talking about right now are women who are cold. They have a hard time digesting things already. So if you, the listener, are one of these people who have issues digesting and who have a little bit of stubborn weight gain, then this is for you. But at the same time, when we're being bombarded by so much information about, okay, this is what you need to do in perimenopause or menopause, sometimes, you have a list of symptoms here and, you can pick out 3 to 5 symptoms of that list, but then you get presented by another list where it's like, okay, take all these things, eat like this, but it doesn't always work for you. Or they tell you, okay, if you have the stubborn weight gain, you need to exercise like this. And so it's kind of blurry in that sense where, okay, you try things by yourself because you think, okay, these are what people are just telling me without any guidance. It's kind of like a shot in the dark. sometimes. And so
Yeah.
for like, for example, like the woman who has hot flashes and night sweats, she might have a red face. Um, when I tell her,
Sorry, I think we're getting so much into different symptoms and into specifics, which I think is because for all women it is a bit different. So I think that most important in all of this, whatever is going on, is sort of the mind, little bit the mindset of, okay, I'm in menopause and I have all these symptoms. I'm finding this and this and this difficult. I have the weight gain because we're talking about that. What do I do? Focus more there. And what do I need then as a woman to think about? Because it's like, what is possible for me to do? And could you tell us a little bit about what you have seen with your system when you're working with women, what kind of changes they actually have in their while they're working with you? Could you tell us a bit about that? What they can
sure,
achieve?
okay. Yeah, so I was working with women who were in their menopausal years. And one of the things that I was offering at the time and still offer is this facial rejuvenation program. And the women came in, they weren't coming in so much for menopausal symptoms, they were coming for the facial rejuvenation. And so while I was helping them with contouring their face, lifting their face, things that were common that I was seeing in these patients of mine was the puffiness of the face, which is a what we call a kidney deficiency. And so there was the retention of water. And so we worked on that. That was one thing that we worked on. The second part was working on the digestion to strengthen that digestion. So when I was talking about the second spring with you earlier, these are the two things that we need to focus on first. You
So the
know,
kidney is like, as I gather, the kidney is key here, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, the kidney is here is very key because it's the source energy of the body. It gives you life energy. And so by working and boosting these two systems in the body, what I found over 3 months was that women lost weight. They didn't really change their program, like exercise program. They didn't change much their diet, even though we did talk about that. Um, but their faces changed as well. They were more lifted. The water retention disappeared, and they also lost overall body weight. So that's to say, um, there's also something to differentiate between um, water retention, which can be construed as weight, and also like muscle weight. So while these women didn't really do much in changes to their exercise, the water weight went away. So that meant that their lymphatic system improved
Mm, yes.
because their metabolism was better, like things were circulating better.
Okay, that's really interesting. So, do you have a tip for the ladies on the call? Just one easily doable thing. I know it's like taking all of this and saying, "Oh, putting it on a needle's head," right? I get that. But just something to walk away with to think about, maybe something not necessarily how to change, but it could also be something to pay attention to recognize with yourself and understand if it's digestion or you, like you were talking about, water retention or something that we could pay attention to and say, okay, something is going on. I should do something about it. Is there one specific thing that you see like runs like a red line through most of menopause issues?
If there's one thing that I would say to everybody going through menopause is to avoid ice cold drinks and food. Anything ice, no ice. Just avoid that ice. That's what I would recommend for everybody, because that really puts a damper on the digestion. And as we get older, we really want to keep that fire going.
That is so interesting because I have never heard anybody say that. It's always so many things in there, but I find that really interesting. And actually, we shouldn't take ice cold stuff because our bodies go, oh, and I mean, I'm cold as a person. I wouldn't drink and eat cold stuff. I want warm things to warm me up. So, um, I know that you have a program and that you're seeing clients. And do you have something coming up? And what is the next step for women? And also, I should say straight away, Eva is putting an incredible, generous offer on the table. You might want to talk about that. But underneath this video, I will put links both to Eva's calendar call, so you can pop in and have a personal call with her and find out a little bit what is going on with you and what you can do, and maybe if you want to work with her, because obviously she knows what she's doing, right? And also the link for this offer that she is making today for you who are on this call. So would you tell us a little bit about what you do and how it works and how they would connect with you and what you are offering?
Sure, Anna. So I'm offering a 3-month program for you. It's called the Vitality Program. And during these 3 months, we go over your symptoms and take care of those symptoms. With Chinese medicine, that means we look at the body from the mind, body, and spirit perspective. So if you have any limiting beliefs, any stories that you've been telling yourself, like we work on those right away. I show you how to use the acupressure points that are for your body. I also help you with food and herbal suggestions that you can do for yourself at home. And if you want to add a little bit of face lifting, I will pop in some face yoga as well, because that's always fun to spice up the sessions with you. So my special for you is when you type in Anna Donfelt in the discovery call, you can get $500 off of the 3-month program. And the discovery call is 30 minutes free with me. We go over what's going on with you, see if it's a good match, and then we can start working together if you'd like. So that's what I have for you. And the other link that I would like to share with you is my top 5 acupressure points too. So these are acupressure points that I use personally in my practice. And if you're struggling with weight gain and hot flashes and night sweats, this can be really beneficial for you. So thank you so much.
I downloaded that. Of course I did. Every little bit helps, right? So
Yes.
anyways, whoops, sorry about that. That's amazing, Eva. That is such a generous offer. hurry, and take her up on this because, as I said, it won't be on the table forever. And we all want to feel our best. And to be honest, I have been on a call with Eva before or listened to a talk before, and we did a bit of these face lifting exercises. And I like that feeling when it's all natural and you can do it by yourself. It's absolutely amazing. So, is there anything else you would like to add, Eva, before we hop off?
I want to say thank you, Anna, for having me, and it's a pleasure to speak with you. I'm on a mission to share this with so many women who need this information because we're all individual, and the more that you know about yourself, know what you can do, it makes it a lot easier to go through this stage in life.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, my friend, and I will talk to you soon. And for all you people listening in, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.